Emergency Livelihood Crisis Response for IDPs and Host Communities in South Central Somalia is a project funded by Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency and implemented by Humanitarian Action for Relief and Development Organization HARDO through OXFAM. Phase 3 of this project began on 1st of December 2010 and ended on 1st of December 2012. This project targeted to reach out to 7,300 households, which is approximately to 43,800 people in Hiran, Middle Shebele and Lower Shebele regions of South Central Somalia. The key objective of this project was to improve their livelihoods and resilience by increasing food security and access to water sanitation and by encouraging income generation. Some of the activities included the rehabilitation of water catchment dam. This involved digging 5 water catchment dams in 5 villages to trap rainwater during rainy season, which often occurs twice a year. Since Somalia is mainly dominated by arid land, water is very scarce and therefore a precious commodity. These water catchment dams last throughout the rainy season of Gu and Dayer and would dry out a few months after the rainy seasons are over. The trapped water thus becomes sufficient for domestic use for the residents, who are mainly herders, for approximately 4 consecutive months. Both young men and women were involved in digging the dams. While the men used hoes to dig up the soil, the women cleared the basin by scooping the dug soil and throwing it on the edges to form the watershed. This would prevent trapped water from spilling over and going to waste during the rainy season, and a lot of water would thus be trapped in the basin. After a whole day's work, all the registered beneficiaries who worked to dig the water catchment dams were paid their dues for 26 days. Most of them used their payments to cater for their domestic needs, while some were able to start up small businesses like selling grocery. Since many Somalia people living in South Central Somalia are illiterate, they are unable to write. Signing of register by thumb printing is thus used to confirm payments issued to each selected worker. Another activity of this project involved giving cash relief to vulnerable communities severely affected by prolonged drought and who could not work in the fields in exchange for payment. These were especially the elderly, the sick, pregnant and lactating mothers and women-headed households. With the grants given, they were able to care for their basic needs, and some also started small-scale businesses. Many were grateful for having received these grants and prayed for many blessings to be bestowed upon the donors.
أنا وحول بقسم سنة عرفت كيجا وقول كيجا وحي أكتيجي جو سكلي تناحول وحكسي سكر ما حد الله
أي هي دي وحال عكنا فوقت معدي هنا
عندي إلى هاي ما حد الله وراتكين الله السهل وحي نوك أنتين لسيوان أفعل بالنو قارتا كير نو قارتا أنا أنفع ذا الشيء إلهي اسمه صقري أو محلها نبي.
هي أديك ورن محط كأسيسة محط سوي جدينيسة.
هاي يد مرك وهرو. بقول أيام أقوم هذا علم.
Assorted seeds were also distributed to farmers along the riverine areas of lower and middle Shebele regions. Agropastoralists of this region mainly grow maize, cowpeas, sesame, and other vegetables. Lower and middle Shebele regions are some of the most fertile regions in South Central Somalia because of river Shebele, which passes across them. The river irrigates vast farmlands in the area, allowing crops to grow well, even without much rain. Best farming practices were then taught to farmers who received the seeds to enable them grow their crops and have better yields for both their domestic use and for sales in the market. They are also taught on storage of seeds, how to deal with pests, and how to apply fertilizer for best results. Because of the nomadic lifestyle of Somalia people, most land in Somalia is community land and doesn't belong to particular individuals. In this project, 500 hectares of land were prepared for farmers using hired tractors and portioned to beneficiary households for seed planting. Despite challenges of drought period and pest infestation, farmers were able to yield between 60% and 80% of their crop. Another group of beneficiaries of this project were women, whose entrepreneurial skills were enhanced through business management skills training. They were taught on bookkeeping, marketing, pricing of produce for profit making, and group dynamics. They were later grouped into smaller groups of 30 members each and given grinding mills as asset capital for production of sesame oil. Farmers who had their farms prepared were issued with urea to enrich the soils for better harvest. As a result, crops grew well, and the 500 hectares of land could be seen rich with green crops growing until they were ready for harvest. Rich harvests of maize and sesame were evident. Sesame oil is commonly used in Somalia as cooking oil and for body application. Women who produce sesame oil from their harvest also sold the residue as animal fodder. they were able to generate income that could sustain their livelihood.